The family of a Victorian grandfather fatally bashed on Christmas Day say the world is less colourful without him, and they have been robbed of the best man in their lives. Anthony Clark, 50, died in hospital 3 days after he was struck with a baseball bat by a man outside his home in Melbourne's northeast before his head was repeatedly stomped on and kicked by a then 16-year-old. The teenager, who cannot be legally named, pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the Victorian Supreme Court over his role in the 2019 brawl that led to Clark's death. Read more. Man jailed for life over gruesome murder after victim's body fed into woodchipper. The fight started after an argument over some illegal fireworks outside Clark's Moralbark home. A group of young men came to his home to confront his relative, leading Clark to retrieve the bat and order them to leave his property. The man who hit Clark with the bat was found not guilty of manslaughter earlier this month. Clark's daughter Ellen Moxon reflected her father was excited for what 2020 would bring, but he missed it by 4 days. His last meal was Christmas lunch, and she and her sister caught it in their hands when he later vomited it up in hospital. He was a proud man who was deeply sentimental and would tell her he loved her more than water, because how could you live without water, she said. I had to kiss my father on the right side of his unrecognizable face as I whispered goodbye for the last time, Moxon told the court on Friday. Read more. Why Aussie waters have become ideal hunting ground for great whites. My dad died this way, but he didn't live like this. He was amazing and the world is less colourful without him. Moxon gave birth to her first child 9 months after Clark was killed, and had to get staff to turn down the volume of the hospital machine so she didn't have to relive the trauma of her father's death. When Moxon's daughter took her first steps, she hoped Clark walked with her in spirit, she said. Emma Moxon, another of Clark's daughters, reflected their father taught them everything they knew, and made them realize what they were capable of. Money matters. Can hairdressers charge twice for the same haircut? He was the embodiment of good character, she said, opening doors for strangers, barracking for the underdog, reading and remembering people's name tags, and being genuine when he wished others a wonderful day. Moxon gave her father a wallet at Christmas, not knowing what gravity the words engraved on it would hold days later. Looking up to you is easy. Filling your shoes is harder. You are the greatest man I know. Love you to the moon and back. After the attack, Clark was nonsensical when speaking to police officers. A paramedic asked him if he knew who his daughter Emma Moxon was. He said, "No, but she's beautiful," Moxon told the court. The teenager who kicked Clark in the head sent a video on Snapchat days after the assault of a single Nike triple white shoe stained with blood. It was captioned "Rip my triple whites," the court was told. He also commented in a message that someone he knew doesn't find it funny that I killed someone. Judge Jane Dixon said while the message couldn't carry much weight out of context, it showed the stupidity of a 16-year-old child after a very serious act. Emma Moxon hoped the teenager, if he ever had children, would understand what he took away from her father and family. I don't hate him, but I never will forgive him for killing my dad, Moxon said. Justice Dixon ordered the teenager be assessed on his suitability for youth justice detention over adult jail.